Hi everybody, and welcome to Winter Collaboration Summit, Session 3. We are so excited to have you all here. We have a really special guest tonight, Megan, who is a fantastic drama professor who's going to make sure that all of you are prepared for your presentations this year as well into the future. So without wasting any more time, over to Megan.
Okay, hi everyone. So excited to see you all here today. My name is Megan Quinn. I'm a University of Windsor professor, and I am here with two also equally amazing people, Marina, I'm gonna say it wrong, Mariana Barzo. Is that right, Mariana? Yeah, Mariana Barzo calling in from London, England. So that's pretty awesome. Woo woo. I don't know if anyone else is from out of the country, so please put that in the chat. And I would love Mariana and Abby Gu, who's also my other assistant today. Abby is a University of Windsor student and actor director, so we're excited to have her here today. And thank you, Enactus Canada, for bringing us. We're so excited. So I'm just going to give an acknowledgement for the University of Windsor, but I also want to know if you haven't changed your names to where you're from. I want to see that. And I would love for Mariana and Abby to kind of monitor the chat for me, because I'm a practitioner and sometimes the technology gets away from me. So it's a lot of fun. So today you're going to teach me so much. So the University of Windsor, I'm going to say where the University of Windsor is from, is traditionally set on the territories of the Three Fire Confederacy of First Nations, which includes the Ojibwe, the Ottawa, and the Potawatomi. So if you have Indigenous land that you want to mention, go right ahead and put it in the chat. Also, you can tell me where you're from, where you're calling in from right now, and that will be really excited to see that. And I just want to look. Anybody say who they're from? Oh, okay. From India, currently in Canada, joining from India. I'm from India. What time is it there? I'm sorry, from Singapore, from China. Wow, thank you. Thank you all for coming, Canadians and beyond. Wonderful. So I'm super excited to share some tools and a little bit of myself with you today. So on that note, this picture is of me. I'm not the one with the bra on my face, but my mother liked to play some games with us and let us play dress up. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of my experience and influences. I was a kid that played like Star Wars in the park and always activating my imagination. I'm also a theater practitioner for 15 to 20 years, depends on how many years I was a professional, but I have 7 years of education. Look, Mom, we did something with it. That's great. Also, I study multiple acting techniques. So if you ever want to hear more about that, I'd love to tell you. The Eloquate Business Communications firm is really amazing. They have a book called, I'm going to publish these slides for you too, so that you can have them. So if you don't feel like you have to write like mad. But Own the Room is the name of the book, and they take acting fundamentals and directly apply them to the business world. And they kind of opened up my mind and said, oh my goodness, all of the things that I do on stage absolutely apply to presentation skills and storytelling, of course. So also you're going to hear a little bit about postmodern approaches. So we'll leave that for now. And also I have been able to have I had the good fortune of presenting for Enactus not presenting. I think I'm running so crazy right now because I'm so excited to have you all here. Let me slow down. See, rule number 1, breathe. Thank you. I was the presentations coach and faculty advisor for the University of Windsor for about 5 years and St. Clair College for about 2 years. So I'm super excited to have learned from all of you and your amazing projects. And I think that Enactus people are wonderful. You are humanitarians and you bring so much to the world. And I'm always bragging about all of you. Look, I'm trapped in my house right now because of COVID, and I think that I don't have COVID, but I'm here teaching from this place, and I'm getting all teary-eyed thinking of all the times we traveled together. So congratulations to all of you and all the work that you do in the world, and I'm a big fan. So already you're an expert when it comes to Enactus. Also, Judith Humphrey has Speak to Inspire, so just learning to inspire your audience rather than just educate them. And then I have countless other teachers and mentors that I'd love to talk to you about at some point. So what are you going to expect from today? Oh, you're going to expect a lot. And also Hyper Megan, of course. I'm going to calm down a little bit as we go, but we're going to get to play, and that will help us. We're going to get to practice, share together today. We're going to identify and gather tools for your tool bag, your tricks, and hopefully there'll be some time to reflect and set some goals. Now here's something. To thine own self be true, Shakespeare. I want you to be true to yourself. So if I make you do something that makes you feel totally awkward and you want to step back for a moment, please do that. But I want to really challenge you today to keep your cameras on when we ask you to. We will ask you to turn them off because we want to mimic what it's going to look like in the breakout room when we teach games and things, but we really want you to be engaged. However, if you're like, she's crazy and I don't know if I can do this today, I just want to observe. Absolutely. If you're someone that is comfortable in a chair and you don't want to stand or you don't have the space, we can do all these activities from wherever you're at today. So participate to your comfort zone and a little bit beyond if you don't mind. When I'm in the room with you, once this all passes, hopefully I'll be in the room with you someday, I push, I shake you up. So if you can get out of your comfort zone, I always say in the rehearsal studio or in a practice, then when you're in front of 1,000 people, you're gonna change lives. So there we go. So we're gonna play. And Plato says, because I have my person from London, England, she's also originally from Greece. So you'll see little like hints from Greek, ancient Greek methodologies. You learn more about a person in an hour of play than in a lifetime of conversation. So I would like Abby, Mariana, and 2 volunteers. And maybe I could have Abby see if you can see who's volunteering. Does that come up like that, Catherine? And pick 2 people randomly to join us. And what we need you to do is everyone, we're just going to take 1 second now. We should have done that before the recording started. I really apologize. If you press stop video, the little arrow, and you press video settings, it will come up and say, hide non-video participants. If you press that, hide non-video participants, we should only see the people who are the lucky few that are volunteering. And then we're going to show you how the game works. And then after that, you'll be going into a breakout room anyway. So we just like to get right to it and play. So if we could have, I'm going to put you on gallery so I can see y'all. Oh, we have some people. Yay, we have 6. Okay, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. So if those 8, here we are. Okay, I can see you now. Mara, wave at me, Mara. Trevor, Daniel, Raiden, Bojan, is that right? You can open, yeah, Derek.
Boyan.
Oh, sorry, Derek, what? Yes, hi. Oh, thank you. Sierra, nice to see you. Sierra is the big reason I'm here. So thanks, Sierra from St. Clair College.
Hi, Megan.
Really nice to see you. Mariana and Meredith, beautiful. So you will need to unmute yourself for this exercise. So this may take a little longer because we have quite a few people. So this will be funny. So what we'll do is we'll do the first exercise we'll all do together on the screen. So hopefully people can see at least the form in which I'm teaching it. Okay. And please do it, those that aren't on the screen, please do the form so that, and anything I ask you to do, please do it on your own. But these brave souls are going to do some extra stuff. Okay. So if you're comfortable, and Amara's like, oh my gosh, I saw that. Okay, this is me. So we are going to stand if you're comfortable, or you can go from your seat. So if you want to stand, we're going to do something really simple. Everybody else that's at home, stand. Otherwise, it doesn't work. This is for everyone, absolutely everyone. We're going to see these people on display, brave souls encouraging all of you. So this one's a little warm up for everyone. This isn't just the game, okay? Because I'm seeing us all and we need to get out of our shell a little bit. So can you warm up your hands, everybody? Warm up your hands. Good. Now you're going to tap out the body like you're tapping out any negative energy, starting at your toes. I don't have to see you get your toes. Just start tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. It's good for the fascia, waking up the body. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, you made it here. Oh, on a Thursday night. Good job. Tap your arms. Tap your ribs. The intercostal muscles help us to breathe. And tap the other rib. So everybody nod on the screen. I hope you are doing it because it feels really good. And now you get to brush all the worries away. It actually does help the body. It stimulates the cells. So come on. Yes. Brush it away. Love it. We don't stand up enough. You're doing great, everybody. You're doing great. Lovely. Okay, then just standing regular. I want you to inhale. Even people in their seats can do this now. Please do it for yourself. Inhale, exhale. I want you to look over your right shoulder. Oh, we're all doing this together. Big yoga moment. Inhale, exhale. Come through to the left. And even though I've got energy enough to, I don't know, to fuel a whole building, try to take a moment of breath and just let your breath drop. And then forward and look up at the ceiling. And then look down at the floor. Good, and look straight, roll your shoulders back. We don't do this enough. During lectures, you really should be taking care of your bodies. And then forward, it's back in gym class. And then good, and shake out the shoulders, shake them out. Oh yeah, that's so good. Good job. Love it. Now we're going to roll down. You're gonna love this. This is gonna be a new favorite thing because it brings blood to the brain and also stretches out the body. So all those not on the screen, I expect you to be trying this. So what's gonna happen, I'm gonna turn this way so you can see me. So don't hit your head. If you're in the chair, you can do this, but just make sure you push yourself away from your desk, obviously. Okay, so what happens is, I want everyone to put your hands right at your ears. So not plugging, but just right at your ears. And that is where your spine connects to your skull. So give me a nice little nod. Like maybe you like ice cream or you like dessert. A little nod. Okay, so we forget that the head rests there. We often think the whole neck's attached and we get stuck like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll down, initiating from that beautiful little tiny moment, that little tiny movement, excuse me. So we're gonna roll all the way down. So if you have clothes that let you stretch, you're gonna let your arms dangle. Can you see me? Here, I'll move back. Dangle. And you're gonna bend your knees, hang your head. So what I would say if I was in your studio, I would say lift your head up, and then let it go like a rag doll. And lift it up, and let it go like a rag doll. And bend your knees and straighten your knees. And you can put your hands on your shins. If you're leaning over on your chair, you can just release there, bend your knees and straighten your knees. And bend your knees, and we're gonna roll up again. Don't get dizzy, go really slow. Lovely, very good. Now we're going to move our face around. Now I'm not getting close, so if you want to turn away from me to move your face around, but I'm gonna show you. When you're on camera, you gotta move your face. And if you don't have makeup on, you don't mind touching your face, you get to give yourself a little massage. Oh yeah. Okay, and the muscles underneath your cheekbones, if you give yourself a little tap here, then right underneath, we carry so much tension right underneath our cheekbones. And I put the palm of my hand right there. There, that was beautiful. Thanks for breathing with me. Big belly breath. So on your inhale, your belly gets big. Good. Good job, everyone. I'm impressed. Good. Now, everyone at home, actually, you might want to mute now because this is going to be hilarious. Mute just for a second. Everyone that's not on the screen, I want you to make the lip trills. And the people on the screen. If you can do it, it sounds like this. Ah, that's good. Now you get to do it like you're saying ta-da. Try it. You're smiling. I love it. Like ta-da. That's good, Sierra. I know you see it. Good. Now we're going to use some pitch. Yeah. Yeah, make high pitch sounds. Nice. Good. Now we're going to do some tongue twisters. This is only the beginning. You know, we could do this all night. So I'm just having so much fun watching you there. Good. So the tongue twisters, this one's my favorite because I have a coffee right now. So it's Donna Duncan dunked. Repeat after me. Donna Duncan dunked. A dozen Dunkin' Donuts. If Donna Duncan dunked a dozen Dunkin' Donuts, where's the Dunkin' Donuts Donna Duncan dunked? That's awesome. Last one, red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Say it 3 times without tensing your neck and you get a gold star. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Good, and wiggle at your face again. Good, and nice little nod, yes. Nice little nod, no. Beautiful. So any little tiny stretch that you can do is so, so helpful. So now what we're gonna do, can people see me? I'll get closer, but you can stay standing if you'd like, because I'm afraid if we're on gallery view, people can't see me. Now this one, we're going to, there's so many beautiful people on the screen. I think it'll take too long if I use all of you. So can I have 2 people stay and the others, I'm gonna send you love because that was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you for it, because Trevor, I saw all of the words. It was so perfect. Okay, so can I have 2 people stay? So I don't care who, 2 or 3. Yep, thank you. Thank you so much for volunteers. There'll be lots of time to volunteer, but we'll have, okay. Oh, don't everybody go. I need, okay, come back. The last 2 come back. Oh, yay, okay. So this is a game. Are you ready to play a game? Raiden, are you ready? Okay, you have to sit up though. Sit on your butt. You have to sit on your butt. Yeah.
I'm on my butt.
Okay, so good, I love it, thank you. And unmute. Good. Sierra, can you come back too? Because you know this game and this will make it faster too. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is called Please Remember Them, and Catherine is going to put them in the chat. This is called Me to You. We're going to play, and then you're going to play them in the breakout rooms. So try your best to remember them, but the community that's in the breakout room will remember something, I promise you. This one's called Me to You. So what I'm going to say is Megan to Sierra. So let me see my hand, Sierra. Then Sierra says Sierra.
Sierra
Yep.
to Raiden.
Raiden to Abby.
Abby to Mariana.
Mariana to Bogan.
Bojan. Yeah.
Bojan.
Boyan
Oh.
to Megan.
Thank you. Good. So everyone that isn't on the screen, please do the action. So it's me to you. So we don't do this. Watch me, because then they feel disrespected. So I'm telling you that we're practicing something for a reason. So when you say me to you, it's a form of respect to the other person. And then I also get say it again, Bojan.
Boyan.
Boyan, then I get the pronunciation. I'm the worst. Boyan, thank you. Okay, so that is me to you. Okay, isn't that beautiful? Okay, good. Can I have 2 of the other people that are all warmed up on the screen? Thank you, Raiden and Boyan. Stay, Sierra, for another moment.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 others up on the screen, or we could do the 4 of us if no one wants to join. Yes, good, there we go. How do you say Hasmirat? How, say it for me.
It's Harsimrat.
Hasimrat. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna nail this. It's gonna be great. Hasimrat. Thank you. Okay, Hasimrat, you are going to be in charge of doing Zip Zap Zop with us, but it's not Zip Zap Zop that you may know from far away. or anything like that you learned in like camp or something. We have to do the Zoom version. Hasmirat. Okay, so what happens is instead of me to you people, now you have this. So can everybody off screen do this? So it's a little bit more of passing and energy. Do you feel it? Everybody, can you sit up, Hasmirat? Can you sit up? Or no, he can't sit up. Okay, good. Okay, so now what happens, instead of saying me to you, now you send it energy and you can go to anyone on your screen over and over. We can go after Abby all we want if we want. So for example, if I go, Abby.
Sierra.
Megan.
Mariana.
Hasmirat.
Megan.
Yeah, Sierra.
Abby.
Mariana.
Megan.
Hasmirat.
Abby.
Good, we got it. Okay, there's two. The third one, Hasmirat, you just stay because this one's fast and easy. Okay, ready? So this one's called add-on story. So you do probably know this one from camp. It's very similar, the add-on story. And I think to make it easy, we'll do, everybody gets to do a line of text, and then you can either pass it or we can go in a circle. You can figure out the order ahead of time if you want, or people can just jump in, which is awesome too. So I would like Mariana to start it because she has really awesome stories.
Yesterday, I wake up really early in the morning and
I noticed that my foot was swelled. And then
I went to breakfast, and so were my fingers.
But breakfast helped me take the swelling out of my feet. And then
out of nowhere, someone said, hey, you, do you want to go for a run? And I said, great. I have great feet now and great hands, so I can definitely do it. The end. Okay, that was, it could go even further if you like. Oh, this is a
And
great
all of a sudden, I came to like, I'm all out of breath. I can't like run for more.
Yeah, I love it. See, you're good. Yes, thank you. Okay, so that's an add-on story. You get to decide when it ends. Obviously, something needs to happen because stories are about the day that something special happens. Not just we go to the store and we get ice cream. We go to the store and the ice cream falls off and the dog comes and eats it and then runs away with my purse or something, right? There's always something exciting that has to happen in a good story. Okay, good. So the last one is one of my favorites, and here we go. Can I get to my music from here? Okay, so this one, there's only three. Me to you, zip zap zop, which is not zip zap zop, it's past the name. Okay, then we have add-on story, and this is your fourth because you get to take this back to your teams. The fourth is dance copycat game. Okay, it's a dance copycat game. So what happens is I say if I dance, everybody in my group, we start dancing. Come on, everybody dance. Yep. And then when I freeze, it's not because my Zoom froze, it's because I chose to freeze. And then we already have an order, or I go, Abby, take it. So then Abby takes it. Okay, and then we freeze. So we're listening.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I think we get it. It's the copycat dancing game. Thanks, Hasmirat, for coming back and dancing with us. Do you want to dance one? Do you want to give us a move? Can you give us a move, a dance move, Hasmirat? Oh, I like it. Okay, yeah. So we say yes to anything. Otherwise, the poor person feels like their moves aren't very good. Okay, so you have to go with it. The fun thing is you can play music off of your phone. So I think it would be fun if you just picked something randomly off of your phone. I hope this isn't dirty. Oh, that was funny. Oh yeah, I don't know, people. I think I should. Okay, this is not the right one. You need something like happier Latin tunes is what I had, but it's on my screen here. Ready? This is mine. Can you hear it? Right? So then I start to dance and my group joins me. Join it. Sierra. Oh yeah, I like it, Marianne. Keep going. Okay, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, me either.
We have to stop. There always has to be a stop until someone takes it, but I love it. It was good. It's okay if it messes up. So now we are going to go out into breakout rooms. 4 people, please. Try to be on the screen because it can be so fun. You have me to you. You have energy pass with names. Sierra, Abby, Mariana, Hasmaret, right? We had that. We have add-on story. And then we have the last one, which is dance copycat and a freeze. So that's dance until you freeze. And then you can call someone's name out. Or what happened with Mariana, she just said, I'm taking it. And she went and gave us a proposal. Okay, so go off for a good 5 minutes and play. More is learned through play than anything else in this world, is our opinion. So please go off there. Catherine, if you can set up a Zoom, or not Zoom, this is Zoom. I got so excited to play with all of you. Set up the breakout rooms for 4 people each. Does that sound good?
Yes, I'm just making them right now.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to give her
Megan,
more.
would you like to write the games in the chat?
Yes. Can you write them in?
Yeah.
So everybody has them. Yes. Sandra, thanks for laughing. Okay, good. Me to you. Add-on story.
Zip Zap, is it the second one?
Just with names. So those that know it, but people might not know Zip Zap Zap. So just pass the names with a little bit more energy. So energy name pass. Yep, with names, add-on story, and the dance copycat and freeze.
Can we
Okay,
please
the
hold
rooms
on?
are ready anytime.
All right, people, go enjoy them and see what.
Welcome back, everyone. Please remember to keep your cameras on. And if you toggled to hide non-video participants, feel free to toggle back to showing everybody.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so we would love for you to, in the chat, and we'll have a couple people maybe raise their hand if I can get you, Mariana or Abby, checking the chat for me as well. So what types of things, did you get through more than one or just one? Put your hand in the air if you got through more than one game. 3, awesome. Okay, good. So what types of things did you learn just by experiencing? Don't put it in your head, just like what happened? What was your experience? And if I call on you, maybe you could unmute or you can raise your hand. I see quite a few of you. You can either raise your hand or put it in the chat. Everyone is totally welcome to write in the chat at any time if they don't want to be called upon. So we can write in the chat, what do you think that you learned by experiencing those crazy games? Why might we do that?
Megan, if I may speak, something I learned through this game, something so simple can be actually very fun. Like I had a really good time with Abby and Mara.
Oh, that's nice. Good. So what do you think you learned, either just why, what's the purpose of doing those games? What else do you think? Yeah.
Cohesion, getting to know your teammates.
Yeah, so some community, a feeling of the whole, because you learned something there. What else happened to you? What else did you practice? What do you think you practiced? Yeah, I hear someone, Raiden, someone other than Raiden, and put it in the chat. Let's have a few in the chat, please. I'd love some records. So everyone put something that you learned in the chat.
I practice names.
You practice names. Okay, so that's something. I learned the names. Good. So how did you learn the name? What did you use? You had to use your voice?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, right. And your body. So what was each game? So me to you, what did we practice? Someone tell me one thing, either in the chat. Presentation skills learned. Yep. Can I have a couple more? So Rachel, what did you learn? Rachel from George Brown, I'm going to call on you. What do you think you learned from me to you if you did that one? Did you do that one?
We tried. There was only 2 people on the mic, so it's a little bit hard. So we ended up just doing the story game instead, which was like a little bit easier.
Okay, good. So with the story game, what might you be practicing? What are some skills? You can write in the chat. How to use your body? Absolutely. Use the body. Impromptu. Yep, so improv. I played music like I was a DJ. I love it. Improvisation. Develop confidence when you're speaking in a group. Absolutely. Non-verbal communication. Yeah, so me to you, you're sending energy to the other person and you're in the room with them, even though we're so far away. And it's really important when you're speaking that the people feel like, I think at the beginning, I'm speaking at you because I'm so excited to see all of you. I feel like my labradoodle right now. But the me to you is a sending of energy and looking for a response in the other person. And that's key to storytelling and to presenting. And it's also a form of respect and listening. Now the zip zap zop, who can give me one thing either in the chat or in speaking right now? What's with zip zap zop? Why might we play that name game that goes a little faster? What do you think? What might be practice? It's fun. Yeah. Sandra, thank you.
I think we practice clarity, because if you said it too quickly, you couldn't understand who the person was calling out.
Thank you for that. So vocal clarity, so we'll get to articulation as well as clarity with the movement, right? So in public speaking, that's different than acting. You want your body to support what you're saying. So if I'm in an interview and I'm doing this, it looks like I actually don't want the job, right? If I'm playing zip zap zop or sending a message and I can't make eye contact with people, they're gonna feel like, why can't that person look at me when we're in the room, right? And if I go to speak to someone and I'm not clear, then yeah, they're gonna feel confused and I'm not gonna be able to inspire an experience. So thank you for that, Sandra. And all sorts of things like passing energy is really important when you're trying to improvise in the room and things start to fall apart, text starts to fall apart, all of that. So you're practicing the scales of acting or the scales of presenting and storytelling. And so just like you'd play the scales in a piano or in a guitar, you can't get good at something overnight. So by practicing these games, we start to just improve before we even know it. And a lot of times I'll work with students and on the first day, they can barely do it without laughing at themselves, which is totally fine. I'd love, that's a success. If you can laugh at yourself and instantly forgive yourself, you're already moving in the right direction. So the me to you, the storytelling, we talked a little bit about the storytelling just for a second. So listening and also adding on, that's really important, the improvisation part of it. And also it's starting to teach us a little bit what's an interesting story. It's a lot of fun, and also just giving and receiving of energy. So we're working together as a team. The dance one, what do you think the dance one's about? Can somebody get, yeah. I don't know how to say your name. Jackson, I see you smiling, GPC. What do you think the dance one's about?
Well, we haven't got through the last game, but I think it will boost up again your energy because you are moving and you are gonna be more brave in front of a screen and doing weird things with a teammate. So that's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely, weird things. And I had one student once say to me, well, we were doing all that crazy dancing at the beginning, so when you ask us to speak a line, no biggie. And I was like, okay, awesome. So we do something totally out of our comfort zone in the first 5 minutes so that the rest of the things I ask you aren't so crazy, right? And it's a lot of fun. So you get to sit back just for a few moments before I put you on, not display, but before I make you do anything else, but please stay with us. I'm going to talk a little bit about the philosophy, and you can have this PowerPoint again at the end. But as we go through, you'll see some of the tools that we're going to practice in the rest of the workshop. So thank you so much for starting to play there with us, and consider doing those types of games, not just icebreakers, but really understanding what skills you're practicing and trying to improve the game each time. It's just like a track star has to practice the steps, the little tools and the little skills. So I'm going to try to pull up my screen again. So thank you for that. At any point, please write in the chat if you have any questions. And if I don't see it, Abby, for some reason, my screen isn't always showing my chat because it seems like PowerPoint's overtaking my computer. So you got it is one of the major philosophies I follow. It's related to an acting approach, but then I changed around the letters. The acronym means you got it. You are at the heart of your presentations and your storytelling. So no one can ever replace you. There's only one of you in all of the world, all of existence. So take confidence in knowing that whatever you put forward is creative and worthwhile, especially if it comes from you and from your passion. And I often say, you are the heart of your presentation. Also, the Eloquy method says you are the expert. No one else in the room knows your project like you do. So take confidence in that. Got it. I'm just going to go over them quickly because then I have slides for them. But the goal, you always need a goal, other, tactics, instrument, and trust in yourself. So the 10 tools, I tried to get it down to 10. I'm going to go pretty fast because I am going to give you this slide deck. And I'd rather get to the practice part if you don't mind. So 10 tools of engagement from an actor coach. So again, have a goal. You as a personal speaker, what do I want to do in the room? And as Judith Humphrey says, speak to inspire. So have something that you want to do that's higher than winning an award or just getting the gig or the money, right? And most enactus people seem to have a higher purpose of some sort. So I don't really have to speak to you about that, but you also want to look at the goal of your presentation. What are we trying to do with this presentation? Who are we trying to impact? What are we trying to change? And know your audience. So obviously you want to know your audience. Who are you speaking to? And so my very first year coaching, I didn't know my audience. I got the enactus students to do spoken word, which is so awesome, but I scared everybody, I think. And they actually wrote it in the comments saying it was a bit too out there, but they stood up from the audience. They started their spoken word in like kind of a Greek chorus. It was awesome from my perspective, but I apparently did not know my audience in that particular situation. I still think it's great, but and also I once was coaching MBA students, and they were presenting to Crayola and the toy company associated, and the crayons, and they didn't really take into consideration who they were speaking to and what their product was. They were very flat and very over professional. So I kind of said, what about colorful ties, or what about a little bit more energy? Because remember who your client is. So know your audience, know your audience. Good, vary your tactics. We're going to keep looking at tactics, meaning all the tools that you're using, so that you don't sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. If I've just dated myself, forgive me, but Charlie Brown's teacher that goes ha, wah, 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 all the same through the whole thing. Or if you ever saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off, anybody? Or maybe some of your lectures are like that some days, who knows? Own your physical presence. So someone said, these games are helping me with my physical presence. So we want some sort of presence in the space that does not contradict what we want. So if I want people to listen to me and I'm all fidgety and making faces and hiding, then they may subconsciously begin to feel that body language come toward me, toward them. And then they don't know why they're not listening. They don't know why they maybe don't want to give you their money or be inspired, but they feel that you are feeling somewhat awkward or out of your skin. So these are some of the tools for improving your physical communication skills. So how do you use space in general? So it's really fun to figure out, where do you want to stand in the room, that sort of thing. We can do a whole workshop just on space. Spatial relationship, where do you want to be from your team and from your audience and from each other? and from objects, your posture and alignment. Of course, we're in this world right now where we're all kind of shrinking because we have these screens. So it's really important that you expand as much as you can. If you do need to stand at any time, please stand, because I want you to take care of your bodies. Gesture and behavioral habits. So if you have something, I have some students that like to fidget, so I give them all kinds of little tools, like put your hands in your pockets for a second, wiggle your toes, look at your partner while they're speaking, just to get yourself moving, and to always remember that you're moving on the inside, even though you have to be still often during a presentation. Owning your voice. So we have the musicality of voice, volume, and we're going to go over this in a moment, tempo, pitch, articulation, and emphasis. So these are some of the tools that can help you with your voiceover work and also your public speaking and your storytelling overall. Breathe. Everyone right now, take a deep breath, because I am speaking fast, I apologize. But breathing is so important. What I've learned over the years is that when you don't breathe, your audience stops breathing. They obviously breathe, but they're not releasing and at ease because they feel your tension. It's kind of like when someone walks into the room with a really bad attitude and we can feel their personal atmosphere. That's what starts to happen to your audience. So if you want to empower your audience, you have to make sure you're breathing, and you can practice that actually. The breathing will respond naturally, or sometimes you have to practice it. Share your gaze. This is my favorite enactus secret. Share your gaze. Sometimes people get stuck looking at one thing like it's a camera. And so share your gaze. Everybody in the room deserves the same presentation. So that means I always say, find the person, and I've learned this from other mentors, of course, but find the person from far, far away. They paid the same amount of money, or they still want to hear the same presentation. So make them feel special. Make the person furthest away. Make sure you're looking out there to see if they are responding. It's not just looking, it's seeing if you get a response. And the energy is also sending some of your energy. It's one thing to look at someone. It's one thing to actually try to impact them and have an effect on them. So it's like if you smile at someone and you mean it, and if you smile at someone and you don't mean it, right? One transforms the other person, and the other doesn't do anything but show that my face is smiling. Good. Land your message. If I'm saying, hi, my name is Megan Quinn. I'm going to do it again. Those that can see me, hopefully you can see me. Hi, my name is Megan Quinn. And I go and throw my moment away to give to my next partner. Hi, my name is Abby. Okay. So hi, my name is Megan Quinn. I want to make sure the ball lands on the person. This is the enactus. Like, so many people throw away a moment to have an impact, to have a moment with the audience. You want to smile at them when you're talking about something and make sure it actually lands. And how do you do that? You watch for their behavior. Are they nodding with you? Are they smiling? Are they looking awkwardly, trying not to look at you? You want to make sure that you're actually letting the ball land. So when we practice, we do zip, zap, zop to help us practice actually landing a message. And we also play catch. When we're allowed to touch the same ball, we will begin to play catch again, where you actually catch the ball, which is beautiful. You should see how long it takes for people. I don't care about the catching. Using your imagination, if I say, imagine a beach right now. It's sunny, and we can put our toes in the sand, and it smells like salt, and there's no more COVID, and we can have a picnic, right? We start to feel something maybe. I know I do. My student said she visited Brazil on the break, and she said she got to swim in the Atlantic, and the whole day I kept imagining myself in the Atlantic, okay? So if you tell your audience to imagine something, or you imagine yourself as the client, you will start to have sensations, feelings, and images. So we do a whole workshop on that too. Practice makes prepared. You don't know how many groups I work with that say they research for 90% of the time they research, and 10% of the time they practice. They cram it in like they're doing an exam, and then they wonder why they're nervous. Okay, if I had to play Hamlet in Shakespeare's Hamlet and I only spent a day trying to memorize, I would have a nervous breakdown. So knowledge is of no value until you put it into practice. And my last point is trust yourself and be positive. So no matter what happens, don't give up on yourself or your partners. Okay, so now we are going to practice. I'm realizing I'm a half an hour in, or a little bit over time because I got excited. So with the practice, what we're going to do is we are going to play with something called paraprodokians. In a moment, I'm going to put some sentences on the screen and everybody's going to pick one and you're going to have it muted. So paraprodokian means a figure of speech in which the latter part of a sentence or phrase is surprising or unexpected, frequently used in humorous situations. So an example of this is, if there's a will, I want to be in it. Do you get it? No? If there's a will, I want to be in it is an example. So what would happen is if I was looking at that line, so I'm giving you very small scripts. These are baby scripts in my mind. It's one sentence and we are going to learn how to scan it. So say someone hands you a speech last minute. They say, Rachel, you got to do this speech. You got 5 minutes. What the heck? You need to get a pencil and you go to the bathroom and you read it out loud. And I'm going to share a whole bunch of other tricks. But one thing you do is scan it for emphasis, underline. You can make up your own scanning, by the way. So underline. Phrases have slashes or backslashes. And if you need a special place to make sure you remember to breathe, because sometimes you enactus people write these really long, beautiful sentences that have stats. And I think, how the heck are you going to get to the end of that sentence? So we always practice, okay, please breathe there. Okay. And then there's another tool I'll share with you after. So the way I did mine, this is a baby example, but if there's a will, I said, in my mind, I said, will is important in order to understand the line. So I put an underline. That's where the word I want to emphasize. I want to pause. So the phrase is where that slash goes. So I want to make sure I pause or have drive my energy to that line. And then I do want to try the breath. So I go, if there's a will, I want to be in it. Maybe that sucks. I don't care. We're going to keep trying. So if there's a will, I want to be in it. Okay. So you're going to practice. Here's yours. So everybody gets to pick one. So everyone, please sit up on your buttocks. You can stand if you like and give me a little shake of the arms. So we just wake up a little bit. I want to see everybody who has their camera on, please shake. And take a deep breath. Okay, good. So I want everyone to please pick one of these you want to play with. And we're going to go into breakout rooms in a moment. And I think if we do groups of 3 or 4, maybe 4 so they can share them, but we're all going to practice them now together. Okay. So what we're going to do is you pick one. So when everyone, if you got a chance to read the one you want, I got some little call out to Drake there, Canadian, amazing artist. Okay, so pick one that you like and we're just going to practice. We're going to pretend that we're going to imagine that we are rehearsing for a big show. And this is your line and you're going to make big bucks if you do this line well, okay? And you mean it. So you don't have to be perfect by any means. So what we're going to do is everybody, if you want to stand, it might actually help you. You don't have to, I can't see everybody right now. So standing is actually better for you, but I want you to say the line out loud and I'm watching your mouths. I can see quite a few anyway. So I want you the first thing you're going to do is pick the one and you're going to say it out loud. That's it. Say it out loud and you see all your mouths moving. I can't hear you. If you're standing, it's good because you get the words in your body, not just in your head. So if you talk to Sierra, you'll learn that I say, get in your body, because then your body won't forget when your mind does. Okay, good. So we're going to say the text. So say it one more time. And if you're standing, you can walk around while you say it. Rock in a circle. say a little piece of it, walk toward the camera and back just to kind of, I forgot that you don't know the line yet. That's good, Meg. Okay, so you just said it. I'm gonna sit so I can see you all. Now I want you to overdo the text. So in 3 words, I want you to overdo the text. So you're going to overdo the consonants. So an example would be, in 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned. It goes on. You're overdoing it on purpose, okay? So I want you to overdo it on purpose, please, so that you're really using your articulators. This is like what Sandra was saying earlier. Yeah. Overdo it. Good. Everybody good? Okay, good. Now this is really fun and no one can hear you except for whoever's in your house. So please just do it and see what happens, okay? So I want you to start really low, like really quiet. Sorry, not low, that's pitch, that's next. Really quiet and get really loud. And then say it again, start really loud and get really quiet. I don't want to scream, but in 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned. It goes on. Right, maybe I just screamed, but there you go. So you try it. And now get really loud and get really quiet. Good. And now this might have already happened, but I want you to get really low in your register, like you're, I don't know, Darth Vader or something, like really low. Luke, I am your father, kind of low, like life is like riding a bike. And then I want you to get really, really high. You must keep going. I want you to try it. Just see if you can sound like Mickey Mouse at the end. You start in Darth Vader, go to Mickey Mouse. And then do 1 round where you're saying it again and you go from Mickey Mouse all the way to Darth Vader. Mickey Mouse. Try it. My poor dog's hearing me. Good. And we're going to do 1 last one. Thank you for showing your faces. It helps give me strength when you show your faces. Good. So bring your faces on the screen. Good. So then, and gives other people strength too. So now last one, you get to go slow-mo, slow as you can to as fast as you can. And then as fast as you can to as slow as you can. So I want you to try that. Good. I can see you all doing. I can't wait to hear them. Now I want you to see, where the heck do you want to breathe? So you've said it a few times. So you got it in your mouth. You've conditioned your muscles just a little bit to say these crazy words. The first thing is, sometimes these aren't words that I'd ever say. So I have to learn how to say them. And sometimes we miss that step. So now figure out where you want to breathe. And if you want to write it out on a piece of paper, you can too, or you can just, it's such a short sentence, you can figure out where you want to breathe. Where do you want to put that little comma or that little quotation mark? Where might you breathe? Good places are usually at periods, but if you need a breath somewhere, you can have a breath somewhere, no problem. See where you might need to breathe. Now this might change where you need to breathe. Now, look what words are most important to you and just try it out by emphasizing. You don't have to overdo it when you finally do it, but you do need to emphasize a little bit. Success is not failure, right? I need to set up failure. So maybe failure is underlined. So figure out which words are most important and say your line again and see if you can find the emphasis points. Good. Now, now that you have the emphasis points, you have the reading, you can articulate it, you might even have some pitch now that you're playing with. I want you to try to see if you can figure out the phrasing. So if you haven't already, if it's sometimes the emphasis just does it for you. You're like, I got it. If there's a will, there's, I want to be in it, right? Like I kind of know. So see if you can figure out the phrasing, how to make it make sense with all of that. Just run it once before you go into the breakout room so that you feel confident, at least sharing it. And then your group's going to help you. Good. And the last thing the group can do is look at tempo. So once you get there, if something's too fast still, or you need to slow something down, usually monosyllabic words like it goes on sometimes slows down a little bit. It goes on because it doesn't have the impact, right? So what we're going to do now, hopefully you have the groups 3 or 4. I gave you enough time this time. We're going to put you in breakout groups and I want you to share the one, even if someone else picked the same one, it's totally fine. Share your rendition of this line. Okay, it's not an audition, it's just a sharing. And after each sharing, if someone has a very nice constructive thing to say, maybe you could emphasize blank. Maybe you could emphasize, and then we'll hear a few. We won't get to hear everyone because there's, so many people here today, but we'll try to hear at least one of each one of these. Somebody reads each one. Okay, so we're going off into breakout rooms. Is that okay, Catherine?
All right, everyone, it should be available. Just click join. Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I can't seem to get my PowerPoint back up now. Yeah. Yeah, so, because it's going to show my notes on the side. Hi. See how you can see my notes? How do I switch view? It's just not helping.
I want to just do not presenter view. Like only have it present in.
Okay, so view, is that from the view?
Yeah.
Okay, is this gonna change? Okay, good. So how about everybody, welcome back. How'd it go? Put in the chat for us, please. Tell us how it went for you and one thing that you learned. And while you're doing that, I'd like a volunteer to do the first one by Bernard Shaw. Who would like to do it? Who would like to do it? Can you see hands? Because I can't see hands on mine. Can we pick someone, either Catherine or pick someone. Hands up.
Either guys, use the raise hand function or just raise your hand and I'll call on you.
Or we're gonna just call on you. We need someone to do, we don't stop playing you. This is coaching right here for you. Can we have, did someone do that one? Bernard Shaw, did anyone do it? But be honest, could you try it? No one did that one.
All right.
Oh, yay, Spencer, woo woo. Okay, Spencer, you're up.
Okay. I have to disclose the fact that I don't know if I did it great, but I did Bernard.
There's no such thing as great or anything. It's just practice. It's just
right.
practice. That's all we're doing. We're never good on the first day, and I'm sure you're great anyway, but we never get it on the first pass, even as actors. We like to try it. So let's see what you did, where you put your emphasis and where you broke up the line to make sense for yourself.
Okay, I'll try. I had some good guidance in my group. My two group members were cheering me on, but
good.
Yes, I chose this one because it really resonated with me. You never stop playing, but we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Oh, that was pretty good. I like it. That was actually, I think that your emphasis was awesome. Okay, so now can you imagine that you're saying it to someone that you care about? like that you're trying to encourage them. So that now that was a nice read. So now let's have a little bit more energy where you're trying to tell your friend it's okay. Like you can't get old too fast. You're just going to say it with a little bit more energy and like you like the person you're saying it to.
Okay. Sorry. It's not that I don't like you guys.
No. There's no sorry. We're always going options. Yeah, try it. Breathe.
Okay, perfect.
Breathe before you speak though. Take a nice breath.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend like I'm speaking to my sister. Listen, Alyssa. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. I hope Alyssa liked it. I think you're on mute.
Thank you.
Oh, there you
go. My screen is being funny. Okay, that was beautiful, Spencer. Thank you for that. So it just gave a little bit more tone and point of view. We call it point of view. So I used to say to my students, like highlight with like, I don't know, yellow with things you love about your script, like things that are happy and about your clients and everything, and things that are a little bit harder for you or challenging, or maybe not, you don't want to pretend to be sad, but just the tone is, say, like green is a different take, right? I'm sorry if you can hear my lovely dog. He's so sweet, but he's starting to say, I want to come in. Okay, can we have someone do the Robert Frost piece? That was amazing, Spencer. Thanks for your bravery. We have the Robert Frost. Who did the Robert Frost? Come on, someone must have done it. Let's do it. It's way more fun. Look at how great Spencer was. Anybody putting their hands up for Robert Frost? Can someone volunteer to try Robert Frost if you don't want to do it? Oh yeah, people, come on. I'm gonna pick.
Looks like Sandra is volunteering.
Yay, Sandra! Thank you. Try it, Sandra.
In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned. It goes on.
Oh, I like it. That was amazing. I don't have anything to say. That was beautiful. I would, just for fun, could you try the monosyllabic word just for fun? In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned, and take a breath and slow that down with the it goes on.
For sure.
Let's try it just for fun. That was brilliant though.
Thank you. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned. It goes on.
Nice. Yeah, good. And you even heard her have a really nice breath right at the beginning. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, good. Thank you. Can we have someone do the Einstein one? Let's go. Yeah, snap, snaps. Snap, snaps. Good job, Sandra.
Lopsil, I think I'm seeing the yes.
Go for it, Albert Einstein.
Awesome. I actually like this one because who doesn't want to be like Einstein, right? Deep breath. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
Oh, I like your emphasis points. They're really fun. Okay, so we need maybe 1 or 2 less emphasis points. Let's try. I like how he went riding a bike. So if you could keep that, but make sure you emphasize bike, because you have to set up life and bike, life, riding, and bike. Life, because you're setting up the subject, life is like riding a bike. So you could do your riding a bike. I love it because it makes me feel like I'm that onomatopoeia, like riding, like I'm riding a bike. So that was awesome how you did that. But if you can emphasize life a little bit more, because you're setting it up. So could you just do that one line, life is riding a bike, one more time?
Sure thing. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. So now do it like you're talking to your best friend again. Life is like riding a bike. Try it one more time.
Okay. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, good. That one was even more clear. We just rushed the end just a little bit. You're going to do it one last time. That was perfect. That was, this one's hard because you have 3 little sections. So this time you did it perfect with life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, see how he used pitch? Okay, you must keep moving. So this time, my direction just for fun is let it be like, not a joke, but like you're smiling, like to keep your balance, and then smile as you say, you must keep moving, and see what happens. Because we're practicing voiceover work here. If you smile, it actually brings a little bit more tone to like a different quality of your tone. So let's see if you smile on you must keep moving. See if it changes anything. I'm going to close my eyes and just listen to you.
All right. Deep breath. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
Oh, I missed moving, but that was good. I could tell that you liked it. You must keep moving. Good. Okay, good. Nice direction too. Nice breath and direction. Good. We could play with these forever. Let's do success is not final. Good job there. And nice taking your direction. I love that you're so positive about it. Can we do
Ariane, I think I saw your hand.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love Churchill. I just finished watching The Crown, so okay. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Wow, that was lovely. Yeah, also very good. I can't see you, but I want you to stand because I feel like Winston Churchill would be standing.
Okay, hold on, give me a
No,
second.
no, Winston Churchill would be standing. But that's okay.
All right.
But I feel like in his mind, he might be standing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, with the crane. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts.
Oh, lovely. Okay, who is your best friend? You don't have to say it. You can say it. You can say it in your mind. Okay, and they really need to hear this. So you said it perfectly. Success is not final. Can you make them feel better with that line?
Okay.
Yeah, can you make them feel better? And then failure is not fatal, right? So just take your time. What you did was great. I just want to give you another direction where you just take your time a little bit more with each one. And after each little phrase, so success is not final, take a breath. Failure is not fatal. And then take a last breath and see how you get to the end.
Okay. All right, Megan, you're my best friend.
Thanks.
Megan, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Yeah. So you took the direction so well, right? It doesn't mean you have to say it that way, but sometimes it helps to figure out who am I talking to on this voiceover. It just changes it, and maybe you don't keep that kind of encouraging tone. Maybe you don't, but you did a lovely job taking that direction. And then we could do it again where you're actually like, telling me to buck up, like get going, Megan. But that was beautiful. Can we have someone do Drake, please? Anyone? See anyone there?
Trevor, I see you.
Yeah, go Trevor.
All right, I see Sonia as well. We all hop all on Drake. We were all really hyped up for
Okay,
Drake.
Sonia can do it too. You can do two versions of it, so I don't need to coach as much. You can just give two different takes on it. It'll be fun.
Awesome. I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection.
Ooh, nice. I like your not. Good. Trevor, that was amazing. I remember that you have acting experience as well. So this time, can you say that you're saying it back to a bully, but you're saying it like totally at ease with yourself? Like smile at the end.
I know where you're going. So
yeah.
The quiet swag. Quiet swag.
I like it. Like you're totally confident with yours, just for fun. Let's see.
I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection.
Oh, nice. Nice. Good. Can we hear Sonia's version?
Okay. All right. Okay. I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection.
Okay. Okay, good. I was born not to make a profession. I love it. I was born to make mistakes. Can you, just for fun, because so we can hear a different read of it, can you hit as an emphasize mistakes and perfection just a little bit more and let the other ones just ride? Let's see what happens. So you're going to say, I'm not going to give you a line reading, but I was born to make mistakes. Breathe. not to fake perfection. And we're going to focus on emphasizing mistakes and perfection. Let's see what happens.
Okay. I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection.
Oh, good. Okay, now that you did it like that, now just own it. Like it's your words. Like this is your vlog.
Okay.
Last one.
Guys, I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection.
There you go. Now it's more your words. Now it's more your words. Okay, good. So now in the chat, and then I would love Mariana to read some of them because my chat is, for whatever reason, not coming up at the top of my screen right now. It's, oh yes, I can get it here. I found it. Good. But still, Mariana, it'd be fun for you to see some of the feedback. Can you type in the chat what we just did? Like, so what was the process of getting someone else's words? So this is great for voiceover work because often you don't get to write your own text. Sometimes you do. How do you get someone else's words or words that sound a little bit like an essay? How do you get it to be your own? How do you adopt it or make it your own? So what did we just do? So what were the steps that we just went through? So can we just recap? Everybody type into the chat. We explored the range and possibilities. Mariana, you go ahead and read some of them.
Yeah. We explored their range and possibilities, different heights, different textures. Yeah, textures, nice word. Saying it over in different styles.
And I like that you said saying it over because rehearsing it, just by saying somebody else's words, you get the words, you train your muscles and your face to actually form the words, because sometimes we just don't say those words and that's why it doesn't sound as natural or feel as natural. Go ahead and say a few more.
Add your own interpretation of it by adding your own emphasis, yes, how you make it own, saying in different contexts, for example, to a friend, learning where to pause. We made someone else's words our own, yes. It lands differently depending on emphasis, personalize the words, imagine you're speaking to a friend.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's something
different speeds, different tones, yes.
Yeah, different tones, different speeds, different choices. So you have tools like the musicality of speech. So all the tools that we have in music to express, we can steal that and bring it into public speaking. And so how can I play with it? And even just the practice of playing with the text helps you learn it. And I usually make people walk the halls or go for a run together or hit a balloon up in the air while they're learning their text. And if you don't have to memorize it, you can just repeat it a whole bunch of times so that you feel that you can lift the words off the page, so then you can send your energy to other people in the space. So beautiful work. Everybody snap, please, or do a little dance or something for those beautiful, brave people. So storytellers broaden our minds, engage, provoke, inspire, and ultimately connect us. I'd like everyone just to end this one little unit. Say this out loud. I love Robert Redford. Oh, I put tone. Sorry, obviously I was using my brain here. A tone, or a point of view. So a point of view on every word that is in the list. So storytellers broaden our minds. So that's a statement. Take a breath, and how do you feel about engage, provoke, inspire? And then you finish the line. So I want you just to do one where you say, make a choice, and it can be hilarious choices. Engage is kind of spicy. Provoke is very challenging. So we get a verb on it. Inspire is uplifting. And then we end the speech to the end. So just try it once where you make a choice about those words in the middle. I'm not going to make anyone do it. I just want you to get the last little tool is have a point of view on everything. Yeah. Lovely. Sierra, I saw you practicing. Can you just try it once?
Out loud?
Yep, might as well. I saw you. It was good. It looked good. So we're not getting as much practice this round, right? So you're just going to make a few choices. Go ahead.
Storytellers broaden our minds, engage, provoke, inspire, and ultimately connect us.
Oh, that was nice. Very good. Can you do it one more time and just for fun, make provoke like you're telling off the bullies? Whatever that means. Like you're challenging someone, you're challenging them. So you can use role or you can use verbs sometimes. So to challenge, or you can say it as if you're saying it to someone. Those are two different tools that actors use, as if and verbs. Okay, go ahead, try one more time. It's fun.
Okay, so storytellers broaden our minds, engage, provoke, inspire, and ultimately connect us.
Wow, that was interesting. Yeah, I felt like you were on a podium or at the podium that time telling off people. I loved it. So it's just an option. It's just ways of practicing. Depending on your audience, you wouldn't do that if you were in a boardroom. But if you needed to do a public speech in front of thousands and you needed to motivate them to follow you to do something, yeah, you want to be able to be bold enough and brave enough to try that. So thank you so much. Good. Okay, so I'm looking at the time, and I think what we'll do is I'll move on to the next section here. So dramatic story structure, this is like back to English class. And then while I'm going over this, when I get to the share icon, I want you just to think back to any story that you tell at a dinner table. Like, so if you've got like a new friend, or you're going to see your significant other's, parents for the first time, you've got a funny story or something like that. Think of those stories that you tell over and over and over, or even that your family tells over and over and over. Just be like thinking of that while I'm going over just this couple pages of theory here. So in the back of your mind. So dramatic storytelling, as we know, as you're just even thinking of that story, there's usually a beginning and it sets the scene. So it has a who, what, why, where, and when. And then there's a conflict, an action, a revelation, and then a result. We've seen that kind of triangle, right? Aristotelian or Freytag's triangle or story arc. Okay, and then you get to, figure out how with imagery you tell that story. And I brought Aristotle back because it's an homage to Mariana, our Greek scholar. But this is another little, like right now I'm in the section of the presentation where I'm kind of just saying there's so much out there for inspiration to think about when you're about to create your scripts or create the composition of your script. So how are we going to tell it? So Aristotle said, we're not doing tragedies, but some of our stories are very tragic. But there's the plot, there's the story. Then there's characters. So you have to figure out how to get the characters in the shot as soon as possible. Thought, he said thought was really important. And that also means theme or idea. So does your presentation or your story have a theme or a message? Is something to think about. We're back to this with the diction, the articulation that we practice. Song can mean back in that day, it was song or chanting, but it can also mean the melody of your whole presentation. Is it all the same? Or does it have some spikes and valleys? Does it move through? Are there changes? And based on changes, is there spectacle? Now, spectacle doesn't mean, I've seen some world-class presentations where they have the violinist come in and it gets very spectacular. It can also just mean broken expectation, activating the imagination, putting an image up and getting me to imagine what those voices are saying. It can also be fun music. It can be a change in tempo out of nowhere, right? Just to get us waking up. It can be the speaker decides to walk down the aisle even, could be something a little bit spectacular or exciting. That can happen. So just in the chat, and I maybe can have one person raise their hand or tell me, but like who has a parent or even themselves that always hears the same story over and over and over? Who can like think back, like, oh my goodness. And when they tell it, they enjoy it as much as the first time they probably told it. And it changes and it gets super exciting. Who has somebody that knows? Put your hand in there. You don't. I won't call on you, but just put your hand in there if you have somebody in the family or you have a significant other that always tells the same stories at parties, but they find a new person, or you have stories that you always love to tell. Often I have to say to someone, have I told you this one?
I'm seeing Trevor and Derek.
Okay, let's hear Trevor and Derek. Can you just tell us just like a snippet of what your answer to that question?
So sort of like what makes a good story? I was gonna bring up the fact that sort of like the way my dad is the person who tells the same stories in another language, because he speaks Italian with his family. You can tell what story he's telling based on the rise and fall of his voice and what humor cues he has. The tone is exactly the same, even in a completely different language.
Oh, I love that. And so sometimes those that are coaching people with their native, say they're presenting in English, but they have a native tongue, I always say, speak in your most comfortable language at least once. And I make actors do it too. And it's so fun to hear that they find the pitch and they find the emphasis really quickly. So that's a beautiful piece, Trevor. Derek, could you tell what makes a good story when you're thinking of that relative or someone that's telling a good story that gets people laughing or engaged?
So with me, it's my dad. Just like Trevor, it's my dad who tells the stories. And he always makes sure to build it up properly so you know what this whole situation is. And like gives extra emphasis on points that you have to focus on. And then afterwards, he'll hit you with like the punchline, which clears up everything about the story to begin with. So it'll like tackle all the like words that he enunciated, like, hey, focus on these words. They're gonna be relevant to the like resolution of the story. So he draws your attention into the important bits of it. And
keep going. No, keep going.
Oh yeah, and then the conclusion will solve like, or will tell everything related to those words that he emphasized.
So what I love about that is it feels like your father starts with a hook or starts with a mystery.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like, so there's some sort of mystery here and we're gonna get to it later. Now, sometimes in the enactus presentations, if it's too mysterious, then they're like, what? Like my, spoken word thing. But sometimes you can just have just an image come up or something that comes back at the end and bookends it and then just makes it feel like a whole. And that's composition. So those that have ever studied art might know a lot about composition, or they're writer or other art forms. I think of writing scripts and presenting as a composition. So what do I want to say and how do I want to do it? And how can I take people along this story? Does anybody have one more example of what makes a good story when they're being told one by a friend, or any other right now? Or we could, no?
Hi.
Yeah, okay, yeah, please.
Yeah. So my grandma always tells us, like, every time there's a gathering at home, she tells us about this time in the 50s when she dated a celebrity. And it somehow, we imagine how the 50s look like. And she does it so well that it makes you feel like you're with her. Like you can imagine what's happening at that time. And I guess the confidence that comes with it, like it really brings you along the story, which is always fascinating. Like we never get tired of hearing it for some reason.
I absolutely love that. You brought up some really, Ariane, is that how you say it? Yeah.
Yes.
You brought up some beautiful points. One, if you can start with a story right off the top, it does give you confidence in what you're doing. And I often say, if you're really, really nervous, start with a personal story that relates to your theme. This is if you're just presenting or doing a one-off. I know enactus you can't always. Sorry if my dog's loud. But it really helps to calm the nerves because you already know you've been there and you know you're the expert. I also love that you said that she paints the picture for the audience and draws them in. And you're doing something wonderful right now. You're nodding. So when you take your time to paint the picture, like the beach or whatever it is, the 50s, 60s, you said, right?
50s, it was
50s. The 50s, beautiful. And it's so vivid for you and you weren't even there. She's done a wonderful job painting the story for you. I love that. Abby, if you could go help me with my dog, that would be great. She's in my house right now. So sorry. He's now saying, hi, Megan, can I come in and tell stories? Thank you. Okay, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. So one thing I want to tell you with, and you can hear it coming down, so that's good. So one thing I want to tell you with the stories is that you can have the basic story structure. The beginning, oh, here it comes. And then you have a dog that comes into your presentation and messes with it, and it's called deconstruction of time. Okay, thank you, Abby, for helping me with the dog. So one thing I want to talk about is we often know that the story of grandma, we have a beginning, middle, and end, and we know how she might like to start it. But sometimes, depending on what triggers the memory, maybe she starts with a different part of the story, or she starts with a different perspective, maybe, right? So sometimes once we get our stories all lined up, then we get to figure out how we want to tell it and where we want to start it. And so something that came from postmodernism is something called deconstruction. So raise your hand if you've ever heard of deconstruction or postmodernism. It's okay if you haven't. This is like kind of when we get into acting, we do composition work and they deconstruct. So a woman named Mary Overly created the 6 viewpoints, and she was a choreographer, dancer, professor, and author, artist, creative artist. And she just passed last year. And one of her big legacies is the 6 viewpoints. And what she did is she said, so in terms of the creative process or creating movement or creating choreography, what is the hierarchy? So she says, most times we start with script or story. So in acting, we often say, oh, I'm a script actor, or I'm a traditional or classically trained. I start with the script, right? But sometimes people in the postmodern period started to say, push back against form. And they said, how about we deconstruct things like Lego, and we look at each one, and then we put it together to form meaning. So this is what she did. She toppled over the pyramid. And she said, I'm going to look at space, I'm going to look at shape, I'm going to look at time, movement, and story all separate, and then see what I find by doing that. And so other companies like the City Company from New York City, Anne Bogart's work, she had the 9 viewpoints, which I could talk about another time, but also theater companies like Tectonic Theater Company, who's famous for the Laramie Project, depicting a Matthew Shepard, a young homosexual man who was abused and beaten. The Tectonic Theater Company said, we're going to go to the town, Laramie, and interview all these people and create a theatrical piece. And we're not going to do it in just a beginning, middle, and end. We're going to figure out how we want to tell the story. So what they did is they published how they devised and created this story and brought it to life by defining what their hierarchy is. So with postmodern, it's non-hierarchical. So it's like, it's horizontal, it goes this way, whereas in hierarchy goes up, right? Like you can see my cursor. So instead of basing it on story, they said, let's topple over the things we find important and make them into columns as well. So they thought props, what if we only tell stories with props? And so people do this. What if we only use sound? What if we start with lighting? So this is important. So when we start to do composition of your images you choose for your storytelling, maybe you look at the lighting and how the story is told, costume, scenic design. So today I'm asking you as teams or as presenters or storytellers, I want you to figure out, you don't have to do it right now, of course, but figure out what you find important. What is your hierarchy normally? And challenge yourself to start somewhere else. Start with character, start with humor, start with spectacle, start with heart, start with lighting, like atmosphere. Like what kind of atmosphere do we want to create with this story that we're telling 100 people? I played music at the beginning, the happy song. And so I was trying to set a joyful atmosphere, so maybe you start with atmosphere. You can decide what it is. And then you put together, I put this mosaic in here, that this is what it represents. You actually have little pieces of the puzzle that come back to form your script, but you started in a different way. And so what we used to do when I would coach enactus is I would say, go and find radical different ways of presenting. Go and look, study other people and how they present, not just TED Talks, but anybody. performance artists, what do they use? Why is it engaging and why is it interesting? So I just put a few things, make a list, right? These are some of mine that I put down: imagination, lighting, sound, props, character, tempo, suspense. So sometimes I would make my enactus students all of a sudden say something fast, like the recipe and their recipe for their soup. You know, they had Cook Start was they had soup that they created, and I would make them list their soup in order with the most ridiculous word at the end. And the most ridiculous word was chickpeas. And for whatever reason, that always got a weird laugh from the audience. So anyway, but you formulate choices to get people's energy back, especially when you do the national speeches. So body language, we see the things that we're just reviewing today. So identify and gather. We have a little bit of time. I'd like to show just 2 minutes of, hopefully I can turn my sound off and actually get it back. So if my sound comes on, hopefully I can get it back afterwards, because sometimes it's a bit strange. I'll hand it over to Marianne if it doesn't. So I'm going to show a little bit of Wilfrid Laurier's University of Windsor, because they have some shots at the beginning that are really fast. We're going to watch it without sound. So I want you to watch the composition of how they decided to put the images together. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything. We're just looking at it as witnesses, not really as judges. And I want you to think, if you haven't seen this presentation before, that's even better, because then you can tell me at the end of 2 minutes, and if you need to stand while you're watching it to kind of get our feedback, we only have a few more minutes left of the presentation. I want you to look for whatever comes across. How did they tell the story? What did you gather? What did you receive by watching this without sound? So I'm going to try to turn my sound off. Here we go.
This
Okay, I think that, hold on. Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay, good. So I think that's actually enough. I had never done the whole 2 minutes without sound. Wow. Okay, so tell me either in the chat, or we could have a couple hands come up. So for sure in the chat, tell me, what did you observe? What did they use? And there's no right or wrong, just what tools did they use? And I'm going to start it again in a second.
for environmental stewardship.
Okay, there. So what did they use? Do we see any names? I'm going to go look at my chat here. Got a few. Good. A lot of overwhelming images to set the tone. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah. It's intentional. We can't hear the video. Yeah, that's true. Anything else? Repetition, absolutely important when you're first starting out, so it's clear. I like that you said, Trevor, overwhelming images, because you're bringing the audience along to feel a little uneasy. So that tempo, figures of authority. Yep. They did get to their message. It came up on the screen. It was difficult just hearing it without the video to know for sure what it was about at first, but they started with atmosphere, like Trevor was saying. So we're just going to listen to some of it.
This is not normal. How are we going to get back to normal? Normality as it was before. Return to normal.
It is a new normal.
A new normal. Normal.
We do need to get back to normal, but what is that going to look like? The truth is, the normal that we're used to is still full of challenges. But today, with the world on pause, we are presented with an incredible opportunity to rethink what normal could look like. At enactus.ca, we dream of a better normal, one that is more sustainable and inclusive for everyone. And it all starts with this one plastic bottle.
In July 2017, I entered an IDEO challenge and decided to focus on the
Good. Now that you've heard the music, what were they doing? Is there anything new that you gathered? So they added the music and the text. So we always, as theater artists, Anne Bogart used to say, or still says, we should look at your presentation as if you're someone who can only see the presentation and someone that can only hear the presentation. So, and then so that when we get both, they're equally as clear. It really, really does help. Is there anything else? Can I see a couple extra? Let's see, establishing a somber mood, yep. Real life problems that the team were trying to solve and shown immediately, absolutely. Plastic bottle continues throughout the pandemic, yep. Plastic problem continues, yes, absolutely. That's something that we definitely, even seeing all the bags and everything that's coming in. And I'm not here to critique anything. We're just here to observe and see what they used. They emphasized the normal and the new normal, and they brought us into a problem that we can all relate to. So when I saw it without the sound, I didn't have the emotional journey that I went on. Then when I saw it heard it and felt it with the sound and the music, the whole thing came together, which is really interesting for me because all of a sudden then I put myself in their shoes. The other thing that I love someone mentioned was they brought their faces into the frame very early on, and they were very authentic and warm with the camera, right? And you're starting to hear them use the emphasis in their voiceover. So again, we're not going to critique it today, but just be listening to when you're developing your own project again and you're getting your scripts, listen back, listen. Is it like Ariane's grandmother, where you're drawn in, and how can you do it? So I just put, what did you see? What did you hear? What tools did they use? How did they start? So how do you choose to start? The Eloquy method says that in the first 30 seconds, people decide whether or not they want to listen to you. So you test out the opening. We used to do rehearsals just for the beginning. That's all we did. Sometimes we'd work in the middle, then we come back. But at one point I said, we're only working the beginning today. Is it engaging enough? And everybody gave feedback, and they get tons of feedback so that they're not afraid. By the time they present, they own that piece. I don't know if I have time to show this one. So I'm gonna publish it for you to watch, I think, Catherine. I think we probably won't have time to show it. I can, yeah,
I'll make sure you guys have the link in when I send out this recording and the deck.
Yeah, because we're at 8 minutes and I just want to leave time for a little bit of Q&A, but I will tell you the Liberty Project, reason I put it here, not just to showcase Windsor by any means, because I also helped St. Clair College too. And I think everyone, every time I go to these competitions, I'm so amazed and inspired by all of your work. But I was involved at the time when Liberty Project took off, and I had quite a few students, and they were also trying to bring more awareness to human trafficking, because Ontario is a major throughway for picking up young women and crossing the border. So this image, you should watch this. It's really quite beautiful. It's only a minute long, but if we, I'll publish it so you have it. But Jason Gray's music video was, you've probably seen them before, where they're just holding a sign, like trapped. And that's all they're holding. and you get the image. You don't need any words. Remember the saying, an image tells a thousand words. Just one image covered everything that they needed to say. And then they let the audience feel something instead of you feeling something for the audience. And I can talk more on that after if you'd like. So I want to give some other crazy examples of props and things. So Bill Gates TED Talk, I just came across this recently, and also there's this link here has a whole bunch more examples, but he was promoting education on malaria, and he brought in mosquitoes and released them into the auditorium, but they didn't have malaria, but he didn't tell them that at first. He just said, and here's some mosquitoes. And so then the people, all of a sudden, it puts them just, you know, if there's a mosquito in the tent or in your room, it puts you into a feeling, just like the changing of tempo at the beginning of a piece. So I thought that was really funny. And I always show Francis Chan's his pastor. This is part of the research that we did on how do other people present. And Francis Chan, he does a whole sermon on a balance beam. And it's hilarious, but so impactful. And by covering something with humor, then we were able to feel, I guess, give ourselves a moment to reflect by coming at something with a lighter kind of energy. Then all of a sudden the audience can see the deeper message or feel the deeper message. And so that was really quite exciting. So reflection and goals. We just have 5 minutes left, everyone. If you need to wiggle around a little bit, please do. Reflection and goals. So here's a review of some of the practice tools that we covered today, just briefly. Like I said, these could be full workshops or full rehearsals for yourself. And this is, again, you're going to get the slide deck. But what else can you do to start improving your verbal and physical communication skills now? So I'm going to give you some suggestions, and then I would either like to hear a few highlights from people, or it would be really great if you could put in the chat goals for yourself. So you publicly declare goals based on what we've just been discussing today, either a goal for your team or personal goal. So here are some that I am going to challenge you all to do. Read out loud. Read out loud. If it's something you don't love to do, telling stories or speaking in front of people, read out loud. Tongue twisters are really fun to do when you're waking up in the morning or in the shower or whatever. We can send you a few tongue twisters. Physical and verbal awareness. So just being aware of how others speak and how you speak in your breath and how you are in your body. So without judgment, just as a witness, just even how we sit at the computer screen for now too many hours in a day. Is there a way for you to sit in a healthier way that supports your body and takes up more space, even though we're kind of trapped in these little bubbles right now? How can we expand? Get physically active. So if you want to increase your presence, it doesn't mean you have to be fit or anything, but if you do something outside your comfort zone, movement wise, walking, running, some kickboxing, some dancing like no one's watching, some games, that kind of thing, you will find more presence in the room. There'll just be more energy there. And always warming up before you speak. Do not roll out of your car into the cold weather and expect to be on your game. It's just like an athlete or a musician or an actor. Find opportunities to speak publicly, even if it's online. Find opportunities to tell jokes, to tell stories, to meet new people safely. Practice introductions and grabbers on your own. Compose an interesting presentation slide deck and practice presenting it. Practice stories. Tell people stories. I already said that. Practice answering questions concisely and with stories. So we have a whole nother workshop on that, but Gregor Jeffries is amazing. Gregor Jeffrey is an amazing public speaking coach, and he has a whole formula of how to answer questions. And that his name is in the resource page or on the resource page. Observe your other art forms for composition ideas. So expand your horizons on what things you watch or go see once we're allowed to be out in the community again. Go see theater, go to museums, go, to an art walk, those kinds of things. Practice, practice, practice. As Judith Humphrey says, speak to inspire. So start with the things that you believe in when it comes to your presentation. I do a whole exercise where we go, what do you believe in? Let's start there. And they create statements. I believe I believe that everyone deserves education. Whatever it is you believe should be at the heart of your presentation. And then do something risky, but I say in a safe way, because I don't want you to jump somewhere and fall down or do something, but do something risky for you. And I sometimes say it could be wearing something different. It could be talking to a stranger in the coffee line, again, being safe when we're out there. It could be doing one of the things above, like is a little bit risky for you. Lovely. And I have all my special thanks here, again, with Enactus Canada, Jen, Falzon, Catherine, Quinn, of course, she's like not related to me, but wonderful last name, Catherine Quinn, and Sierra Scott brought me in this time. And I want to thank Abby Gu and Mariana Barzu. And there's our information. That will be also on the thing. And I want to say thank you now, there's my underline emphasis, for coming out tonight and spending the evening with us. I would love for you to share one goal or one take home, and you can do that verbally, which would be a risk. We have 2 minutes left. I will stay a few extra minutes if people just have questions about presentations or concerns or things that they've been wanting to ask about the philosophy and the tools and techniques. So do we have anyone that would like to share one takeout verbally? And do we have, can we put some things in the chat? Everybody put one goal or one takeout, I think. Yeah. Remember to breathe. I love it. And everyone connecting to their bodies right now, just taking a breath. I know that's a lot. And slow down. Yeah, thanks, Catherine. That's mine too. It's hard. I want to give you so much. I don't know if use a variety of pitches more often. And practice them. You can practice telling nursery rhymes to yourself with crazy pitches just to practice, because we have to get out of our comfort zone sometimes. Opportunities to speak and practice. Remember to breathe. Yeah. And once you start to breathe, the breath will come in if you just allow it. But we've been kind of programmed to hold and to, hold in, shrink. So sometimes the breath isn't as deep. But once you get used to breathing deeply, it will just respond to your thought and your need. Practice out loud, make eye contact. Yep. Not be afraid to take risks. I love it. Yeah. And then if there's anything you want to put in the chat too, I'd like more of, then Catherine and I will, and Abby and Mariana can look at it too. I'd like more of, because this is an introductory session where we just touch upon things so that when you begin your process, or you've already began your process of creating stories for these competitions, and you're probably in school doing presentations. So it's just some reminders and some goals for you in moving forward. But I really want to thank you all for playing today with me, and with and on behalf of us all, we're just so thankful that you came out to play. And again, thank you, Abby and Mariana, and thanks Catherine, Sierra, and Jen for bringing me in, and thanks everyone again for just coming out. It was so much fun. I don't get to do this anymore. And right now I'd be in the studio with a team, and we'd be playing, and I'd be making them feel foolish probably by doing these crazy games, and we'd have a lot of laughs. And so today seeing your smiling faces definitely inspired me. So thank you.
And thank you, Megan. That was fantastic. I'm so excited to see all of your amazing presentations for regionals and nationals now. And thanks so much to everyone for coming all week to all of our events for Collaboration Summit. You'll get all of the materials tomorrow in your inbox from me. Have a great night, everyone.